We've got Buffalo and Dana's hometown heroes, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, rotation number 69 and 70. We've got Buffalo, a minus 115 road favorite, total of 5.5 minus 115. And to Dana's point about the Skinner reference, I'm not scared to throw in a little movie reference, TV reference, do a little soliloquy or karaoke moment every now and then. Everybody that knows me I'd like to put just a little drop of entertainment into the show. Not too much. We don't want to make it a comedy act, but to keep it lively and keep it entertaining for sure. We got Buffalo and Vegas. Speaking of entertainment, Vegas Golden Knights are entertaining their hometown fans so far this season. Boy, oh boy, great start for them. And I'll tell you what, I thought they were in trouble against Boston the other night. I didn't trust Malcolm Subban whatsoever in between the pipes. Didn't matter. Still able to get the job done and beat a Boston Bruins team that's been very, very maddening. So figure out, can't put my finger on what's going on with them, but I know what's going on with Vegas. Gerard Gallant can coach, George McPhee can GM, and this team is buying in with a good, strong, hard 60-minute effort. Every single effort's there. Even against Detroit, there was sloppiness. We know that's the game Fleury got injured. I understand that, but the effort's never been in question with Vegas through their first 5 games of the season. They've been very, very good. They've given you that effort every single night. Now the question is Malcolm Subban again in between the pipes, obviously coming right back to him. I get maybe a little bit of a sense this could be a little bit of a troubling spot for Vegas just because can Subban, first NHL win with his new team here. Can he keep that up again one more time? And on the Buffalo side of the equation, Buffalo has had a wretched, miserable start to the season, but they finally get that first win. They go to 1-4, little confidence, a little momentum on their side coming into this game. I'm leaning Sabres here in this game just because it sets up well for them. Usually what I like to do in different leagues, different sports, teams that have a long winning streak, they lose that first game after the winning streak. I like to bet against that team right after that. Right after that first loss, they go on a 10-game winning streak. We're going to see one of those in hockey, maybe 2 of those this year, an 8+ game winning streak. When they lose that first game off the streak, that's an auto go against for me the next game. It's a deflator. The air's out of the balloon. It's like a letdown situation. Oh, the winning streak's over, and you just have that flat performance. We've seen that time and time again in the NHL. And conversely here with Buffalo, lose every game so far. They're struggling for confidence. They finally get a win on Sunday night against Anaheim, get in the win column for the first time. That brings positive momentum. That brings a little more energy to the practice rink. That gets everybody a little bit more fired up for game day now, getting that first win under their belt. So, yeah, I'm going to look to Buffalo here in this game. Sorry to the Vegas folks. I know there's a few of them watching probably, but I got to go with Buffalo here, minus 115 in the small road favorite role. We've got Dana involved in this Buffalo Vegas game. Of course, he's a hometown guy. How can he not get involved in a Golden Knights game? It would be uncouth of him not to. Dana, what do you think here of the Buffalo Sabres, the Las Vegas Golden Knights?
Well, I know people from Vegas are watching. I've brought all 3 of my followers with me to the show, so don't think I'm not contributing as much as I can. But I will tell you this, Ian. Practice yesterday was very upbeat, and there was no indication whatsoever that this team is kind of resting on their early success. And I agree with you. I mean, I was not and still not, I guess, a huge fan of Malcolm Subban. I need to see it over a course of time. I love the guys when I put an opinion out there about Subban, because I watched him, of course, as also a Bruins fan. I've watched him, a couple times in Boston where he couldn't finish games, and not that that's a big deal, but I think the bigger deal with Subban was the fact that not only was he the starting goaltender down in Providence, but then he went ahead and lost that job to Zane McIntyre, and he was the backup in Providence for a long time. And I just never really felt like this guy was ready to take the next step. I know it's a nice story that he stepped up against his old team, and it was the storybook ending, and how strange is it that that's the way things ended up. But good for him. Seems like a good kid. And I know George McPhee has a ton of confidence in him. I still have questions as to why it is that Calvin Pickard was let go. I still think that that's an internal issue. I don't buy that it had anything to do with his play. Guys were saying, well, he wasn't going post to post quick enough, and whatever. That's BS, honestly, because he looked fine by all accounts in his Marlies debut, and he looked fine in the preseason as well. And again, if we were taking statistics and measuring guys and whether or not they're going to have success, Marc-Andre Fleury wouldn't be here because he wasn't that great in the preseason either. I love how the Knights have played defensively, though. I think all three of their pairings played well. I think they're playing a disciplined style of hockey. They are really making sure that they are taking the pressure off their goaltender. The only thing that I have, kind of an issue with is, and hopefully that's getting better, is finishing in the third period. We saw against Arizona where Arizona completely dominated despite losing the game in the third period. Detroit's speed was completely on display, and Detroit to me isn't one of the faster teams in the league. And I think for Vegas, the schedule has fallen just right for them to get off a good start. But hey, when we talk about the Sabres, I mean, do we think speed here? No, and sometimes I think not only is there not any speed, I don't think that they're very disciplined at times. I mean, they can go on a stretch where they find themselves in the box quite a bit. I don't know if I am completely confident back into Robin Leonard. And I also expect to have Vadim Shipachyov getting more minutes. I mean, he had his first goal the other night, but only played 10 minutes, didn't get any power play time whatsoever. They hit him on a line with Tuck and Leipzig, and I think he's going to become more of a prominent member of this team. I think he's got a ton of talent, and every time I kind of go back and watch games, I kind of say, wow, I can see what George McPhee was thinking, and I can see why they gave him $4.5 million. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for him, because even aside from what he's got going on the ice, he's got a ton of things going on off the ice. But when he gets everything together and he finds himself on that top line, maybe with Marchessault or with Riley Smith, depending on how it works out, I mean, I think he's going to be a major player with this team. I do think tonight they're going to let him loose a little bit. I do think he's going to get more some power play time tonight. And why not? I'm gonna ride the streak, and I'm going to take Vegas at plus money on home ice. And let's not forget, and let's not put proper emphasis on a road team from the East going to the West. And I witnessed it firsthand. I watched the Bruins in Arizona Saturday night play a terrific game. And then like almost magic, the second game the next night in Vegas, they were non-existent. I mean, this team was not the same team I just saw 24 hours ago. So there could be a fatigue factor involved in there as well. I'm willing to take the Vegas Knights plus with the small plus money at Pinnacle.
All right, there we go. Head-to-head matchup, Dana and me. We're going head-to-head. We got to put the Dukes up here. There we go. Buffalo for me, Vegas for Dana in that late-night cap. I'll tell you what's going to be interesting to watch moving forward. We saw Detroit lose, and I wanted to bring this up. Detroit lost 3-2 to Tampa Bay last night. They were coming home from that final game of a road trip, and guess where it was? In Las Vegas. I'm interested. That's when you're playing Las Vegas on the final game of your road trip, and that's the last game before you head home. I'm going to wonder if that's a bet against spot the rest of the season for a lot of these teams. Going to be interesting to monitor when you wrap up that road trip with Vegas and then you come home. That could be a spot you want to bet against teams in. You really could. And we saw that with Detroit last night in going down to defeat against the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 3-2 in that one. So there's the Buffalo-Vegas game.